Fantastic times for La Rocca this coming week, as of course the World Cup qualifying campaign resumes. And it's got all to do though for the Chilean boys, including Big Bad Burton Diaz. Can they get the win over Argentina? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another prediction video. Today we look forward to match number 15 over in the Co-MPL South American World Cup qualifying campaign, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe to get you back today with all things World Cup related, Black and Rose related, World Football related. We got it all here, boys, under one rooski. That's right, Chile. Where the bloody hell's my monitor gone? There it is. Chile have got it all to do. They're in bloody 6th spot, but a win, an unlikely win against Argentina this coming week, they'll put them right back in the thick of things, heading into the back end of this World Cup qualifying campaign. And we'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs there, the Patreons. Thank you for your love, and of course, behind the scenes. So, let's get cracking and have a look at how we all got to this stage. And then, shall we? Of course, it is the Co-MPL. And there you go. Of course, Bolivia did play Uruguay last time around. They picked up a 3-0 win to give themselves also an outside shot. But look how tight it is. If I'm 4th all the way down to 9th is anybody's guess as to who's actually going to go to Qatar. 4th will get you there. I think 5th is a playoff. You got it all to do then, of course. But I think the top 3 are already there. They can start packing the bags for Qatar so far. Colombia picked up a 0-0 draw against Paraguay, who's still got a shot as well. Meanwhile, Venezuela picked up a loss against Peru, 2-1 win for Peru. Argentina, though, and Brazil 0-0 draw on that one. Of course, Chile did lose to Ecuador at home, which is an absolute stinker. Again, no Diaz involvement in that one, but he's back this week. Let's take a look at the prediction league then, shall we? Of course, here you go. Kevin, Yannick Buster, Alex Shepard and Iman Stein picking up double bubbles on that one, of course. Very low scoring one there, and a couple of zeros, but let's not highlight that too much. Of course, the grand scheme of things looks like this. So Alex Weller and Iman Stein with Hans Worst kicking ass and taking names, leading the charge over in the World Cup qualifying campaign for South America. So let's get cracking. Then we ain't got no further to do. We're going to jump right in the deep end with the next round of matches, which of course is match number 15. And we've got these zingers coming at you, kicking all off with Ecuador up against Brazil, of course, taking place on the 27th of January, depending on wherever you are in the world. Of course, they'll take place at the Estado Rodrigo Paz del Grado. Of course, these two nations played each other 13 times in 2003, 9 wins for Brazil, 1 for Ecuador, and 3 draws. Ecuador coming to this 67% form for them, just 1 defeated past 6 up against the Brazil side, who haven't lost in the last 7 games. Of course, kind of winning 4 of the last 6 anyway. Of course, the biggest win for Brazil over Ecuador was a 5-0 win. The biggest win there was a 1-0 win. In fact, Ecuador have only scored 6 goals compared to Brazil's 23 over the course of those 13 matches, which works out to be a 1.77 goals game ratio for Brazil and the 0.46 goals game ratio for Ecuador. The last time they played each other was in the Copa America. That was back in June 2020. It was a 1-1 draw as well. But they also played each other in the World Cup qualifying campaign back in June. It was a 2-0 win for Brazil as well. Ecuador's one and only win goes back a bit. I think it was all the way back in 2004. It was World Cup qualifying campaign, and it was in Ecuador. In fact, they've only lost once of the last 3 occasions that they played Brazil and Ecuador, but that was back in 2016 as well. Ecuador coming to this on the back of a draw against El Salvador. They played that back in December. Meanwhile, Brazil's last match was against Argentina, and it was a 0-0 draw. So no odds on this one, of course, but it is a difficult one, this one. I think Brazil are pretty much there, if not there. I think they are there already. But I'm going to take some points off of Brazil here with a 1-1 draw, giving a point to Ecuador. That's right. Kicking off forward, though, Paraguay up against Uruguay. You know, of course, one of those scrappy-dappy-do ones that are competing for that 4th spot. And now these two sides have played 13 times in 2003, 7 wins for Uruguay, 2 for Paraguay, and 4 draws. Just 1 win in 6, though, for Paraguay at the moment, 33% form. Up against the Uruguay side, who've got a worse record, just 1 win in 6, also 25% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, we'll look at that in a minute. Over the course of the 13 games since 2003, Paraguay's biggest win was a 4-1 win over Uruguay. Uruguay's biggest win over Paraguay was a 4-0 win. In fact, Paraguay scored just 10 goals compared to Uruguay's 20, which works out around about 1.54 goals game ratio for Uruguay over Paraguay, and they've got a 0.77 goals game ratio. Coming at you, though, last time played each other was in Uruguay. It was a 1-0 win back in June. It was in the Copa America, and of course a big win for Uruguay. They also played each other in the World Cup qualifying campaign, also in Uruguay, and it was a 0-0 draw back in 20 in June 2021. Meanwhile, of course, the last picture in Paraguay was a 2-1 win for Uruguay, of course, and that was back in 2017. Of course, Paraguay's last win was against, there was a 1-0 win against Uruguay back in 2007, so it's been a while. Paraguay did draw with Colombia on the road last time around. Meanwhile, Uruguay did lose to Bolivia last time around, so you never know what you're going to get on this one. Again, you got no odds, but a tight one. This one, I'm going to go with a draw here, which won't do anybody the good on this one. Here we go, though. It's La Roca up against, of course, Argentina. Now, I hopefully will be doing a watch along for this game, and hopefully you can join me for that one. That's, of course, this coming Thursday. So let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, it is La Roca up against Argentina. No Messi, I believe, on this one. Played each other 17 times since 1930. This game will take place at the Municipal de Calma. Of course, 3 wins to Chile, 8 wins to Argentina, and 6 draws. Of course, Chile's biggest win was a 4-1 win over Argentina. Their biggest win over Chile was a 4-1 win as well. Chile came into just one defeat past 6, 75% form because the Argentina side, who haven't lost in the last 27 games. They're going to need something special to beat Argentina this time around. Of course, Argentina have scored 25 goals compared to Chile's 19, and that works out to be about a 1.47 goals games ratio for Argentina up against a 1.12 goals game ratio for Chile. Of course, last time the played was a 1-1 draw back in June. It was in the Copa America. They also played in the World Cup qualifying campaign, also in Argentina. It was a 1-1 draw. In fact, the last 3 of these games have all ended up all square. However, the last 3 have all played in Argentina. Last time they played in Chile was a 2-1 win for Argentina. Way back in 2016, it was a 2-1 win for Argentina. That was pre-Diaz, though. Of course, meanwhile, Chile did beat El Salvador 1-0 win, of course, back in December. Argentina picked up a 0-0 draw against Brazil last time around. Look at the odds on this one. We've got no odds. But my gut says Chile is going to nick this one. They're going to break that 27-goal streak. Diaz is going to score it, and it's going to be an absolute zinger. And we're going to be there together watching it this week. So put that in your diary. Watch along. Chile, Argentina, this coming Thursday. We'll be there, and hopefully we'll be happy at the end of it. Kicking off, it'll be Colombia against Peru. Now, I've got this down at the 28th of Jan. It might not be, of course, depending on wherever you are in the world. Estadio Metropolitano Roberto Melendinez. That's the stadium. Of course, played each other 20 times. 2004, 11 wins for Colombia, 2 wins for Peru, and 7 draws. Of course, Colombia's biggest win over Peru, 5-0 win. The biggest win over was a 2-0 win. In fact, Colombia have scored 36 goals compared to Peru's 16 over the course of those 20 matches, which works out to be 1.80 goals game ratio for Colombia compared to the 0.80 goals game ratio for Peru. Meanwhile, Peru coming to this 1 defeated past 6, 75% form up against the Colombia side. Just 1 defeated past 6 as well. However, just 1 win at the past 6 as well for Colombia. 50% form heading into this one. Last time the played, though, in Colombia was a 3-2 win for Colombia. That was in the third in the knockout stage of the Copa America, and of course a big win for Colombia, 3-2 win it was in the end. However, last time they played each other in the World Cup qualifying campaign in Peru was a 3-0 win for Colombia as well. So this will be the 3rd time, in fact 4th time they played each other in the course of a year. And Colombia have won 2 of the previous 3. Meanwhile, Colombia picked up a 2-1 over Honduras not too long ago. Of course, Peru picked up a 3-0 win over Jamaica. Jamaica me crazy not too long ago as well. I've got no odds on this one. Going to go with 2-1 win for the Colombia at home. Again, you've got to back the home form on these guys on this one. And then finally, we've got Venezuela taking on Bolivia. Of course, Venezuela look like they're in no man's land at the moment up against Bolivia side, who are still in it, I believe. 17 times they played since 2003. This one was the Augustin Trova. Of course, Venezuela winning 8 of those previous 17, 5 wins for Bolivia and 4 draws. Biggest win for Venezuela was a 5-0 win. The biggest win was a 3-1 win. And of course, Venezuela scoring 36 goals to Bolivia's 27, which works out to be 2.12 goals game ratio compared to the 1.59 goals game ratio for Bolivia. However, the form is absolutely incredible. Of course, Bolivia 5 wins in the past 6, 83% form. Against the Venezuela side, just 1 win at the past 6, 17% form for them as well. Last time the president was in Bolivia, it was a 3-1 win for Bolivia. That was back in June and was the World Cup qualifying campaign. However, last time the president was in Venezuela, it was a 4-1 win for Venezuela back in October 2019. In fact, the last 2 games in Venezuela between themselves and Bolivia end up a 9-1 in favour of Venezuela. So they do like playing Bolivia at home. Meanwhile, Venezuela picking up a 2-1 loss against Peru last time around. Bolivia picked up a final win over Trinidad and Tobago last time around back in, of course, January. And again, no odds. Venezuela are going to nick this one 2-1 to give themselves maybe a bit of hope, but I think it's too little too late for them at the bottom of the table. But that's, of course, my take on this one. Be sure to get your own take for these predictions as we look forward to seeing you back again. Again, double match week in the CONMEBOL, and of course a chance for you for your nation to secure the deal, get over the line, or of course give yourselves hope heading into the back ends. That is it, my friends. Be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, but I'm also on Patreon. But until then, boys, we're Daddy Dudzo.